Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do a deep dive look in about Pablo Escobar. So there's a lot of talk of cocaine and the way that everything sees. It's already in the media. It's already on Netflix. So let's actually address that and like what's really going on, because that is what I woke up to this morning of how to talk it out. So let's actually look at the poker cards and see what comes out of this gentleman and what he needs us to know and what we need to know and what law enforcement and military need to know, because there's just oddities. Here it is. Six of diamonds. It is a cutout. It is one. When I see the King of Hearts with this, it is one person. When you see the Jack of Diamonds, there is two opposing forces. When you see this, the Ace of Clubs, it's like almost done. So you got the two opposing forces. You got the Ace of Clubs. It is a group. It's like a community. It's anything of that nature. A large group of people. They were so upset on how this cut out. You couldn't even see it. When you see the four clubs, then all of a sudden it's four types of community, like community watch or anything like that. When you see nine of clubs, it is done, like done to like sipping your tea and just watching it. When you see the Jack of Hearts, though, it is lay back and watch, because you don't know what move is coming through. When you see this and you go to the Three of Diamonds, man, oh man, you couldn't even see it play out at all. You're watching like movies, you're watching everything as it goes on to daily, and then goes down to here, and you see the 10 of clubs. You go, wow, that was fast, and it was new. Fast and new. Whatever came new and through here, because it was overnight, but it's still not settled. Like, there's still a lot of things going on. Because when I see this, the 10 of clubs to the 10 of spades, it is literally like, why am I saying the word again? Perth out, Perth out. It is so heinous to say something like that, and not fear mongering or warmongering on the basis of common knowledge. Perth out means whatever is hidden is going to go explode with energy so bad that you can't even see it. So when I see this and I see the Ace of Hearts, you literally just go, I'm aware something could happen in the community at any time and any moment. And I walk in and it's right there in my face. I know. We've been living like this since 9/11. So when I see this and I see the King of Spades, it usually is at home. They're really good at doing things at home. When I see this and I see the Jack of Spades, though, when they work at home, whatever this criminal is doing and is among us, and like the energy is nasty, you can't even believe it. Can't even. So here it is. Let's go to zero. Whatever it is. When I look at this gentleman, let's go to a screen share. Here we go. So here's Pablo Escobar. He was someone who actually could do like quite a bit of things, and he was quite the devil, but he really wasn't like mischievous. He was offered a deal on the table to move things, and it was cocaine. And when he moved cocaine, he couldn't even get it done. And when he couldn't get it done, he couldn't get a way in. And when he actually moved it in, you couldn't even see it through. And when you couldn't see it through, you couldn't even two through you. Means you couldn't even put it into them. And when it really went to heinous rain, when you see this look right here, he went into heinous rain. Let's look at like more images right here. Like right there, he would be doing like dolphins play, child's play, and he would be toying, and he would literally see everything go through, everything. When I actually look at it to and through, and I actually go to it and through it, I have to say, there it was. There it was. Now this is a little hard because cocaine is harder. It is like, technically a Schedule 4 narcotic. And when you see a Schedule 4, that is when, the DPH and the DEA also get involved with state and federal investigators. And when they look at it as a true controlled substance, they have to see it through. And when they have to see it through, they have to actually see the side effects in the public. But when it comes to it, and what I have learned growing up along with military and law enforcement, it is like everything that you couldn't even see. Let's end the screen sharing right here. There it is. Now we're back. So basically, all you need to know is this: it makes like everyone so unhappy, so unhappy. This is Ten of Cups here. It shows, the true meaning of it, like it's already known. You go right there, and you go to this, and you see the Eight of Cups. You go, it really is like a move on. It's a walking away. It is a turning point to a pivotal moment. And then when you look at it and you say to this, you couldn't even look into it. Four of Cups, stone face, like real cocaine after working in the public as a visiting nurse. Real cocaine addicts, they're like this. No, 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 no. I got it, and I did it, and they're animated, and then they sit there and they're like, mm-hmm, yep, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That is how they do it. So when you actually do to it, you're really not supposed to talk about a lot of things. When we see this, the Queen of Cups in reverse, you couldn't even believe how hard it was to actually chew and through it. That the Queen of Cups is counterintuitive, and everyone goes cross-eyed. So when you speak that, you got to speak in all forms of communication with law enforcement. It's happened before. When you see this Six of Cups, it's happened before. Of an oopsie daisy, of a slip of the tongue, because somebody did something that they weren't supposed to. When you see the Three of Wands, they didn't foresee it. They did not foresee this. Hidden motives. When you see this High Priestess in reverse, it really is. Like you just cannot tell because they are stone. They become so hardened with this like type of activity of guarding. Like you see, this woman is like in their bubble that you can't believe how through it is. So let's actually go and ease a little bit because it is a hard topic with Pablo Escobar. Here we go. When you look at this and you see Serious Messenger, it is bringing harmony and balance, embrace your weirdness, and pick your true north. There's something about like bringing your true self open on a selling point. And when they do that, you see it and you go, it's happening, hold a vision, embrace your weirdness, it's happening again. You can't even do. So when we hold back and you go, no, 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 rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life, you do. You literally do. I can't even believe how hard it is, but it's true. Even Beckdowns in the community, someone who uses cocaine or is dealing cocaine, they literally can lock down an entire city and say, no, you're not doing anything until I say move. It was so bad on how it played out. It went to bringing harmony and balance. Not usually. People are usually like stuck in their houses and they need home services and other things. And then it's a free will choice. They can call 911 and they can do these things and they can go to the hospital and they can drive in the car. And some of these homebound patients and others are like, I really actually can't. So when you see it and you see the new earth, it's happening. Hold your vision. True. Absolutely true. Can't even get it done. Embrace your weirdness. Absolutely. So when I see it and I say, trust the wave you come in, time is not running out, it really is true. It is picked apart based on like who needs to get out of that house when law enforcement and military figure it out on what is going on. So when it isn't, use everything about yourself and be resourceful. So when how is this related to Pablo Escobar? Basically he was resourceful. He did everything and anything and something and nothing to get the job done. So when you see this and you see you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings, you couldn't even believe it. Couldn't even believe it. His intuition was still really intact. Most of the time when they do these illegal substances, they really are like dumbed down. And when it happens, you go absorbing what is not yours. Absolutely. It's like porous. And I see this like type of soft stone, like porous stone. And when you go to it, it leaks. It absorbs. When you see spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time, yes, they are a run of the money and you don't understand. Like all of a sudden, they're right there. And that was one of the conversations about Jeffrey Epstein was that he just all of a sudden appeared and he just did it. So when you see this, you see defenses that's writing past wrongs, uprooting. All of a sudden, like they have this realization of, no, you have to move, you have to divorce, you have to put down the animals. Like it gets heinous. Like, oh my God, you got to have a lawsuit and you got to do this and that, and you go, there's other ways you can settle an incident. It's pretty easy. So let's actually look at wood runes. What else do we need to know about Pablo Escobar to the current date and time of what's going on to current events? Lava, dominoes, to all of it. When you see this, you see 5 to 9 p.m., and then you see this, it's like solid, and then it goes to a freeze of like instinct. Havoc, you can't even do. You can't even do. When you see it, it's almost like you want to light up a cigarette because it was so good. And that's usually in the 80s and 90s. When you see this, I actually see them playing lottery. When I see this too, I see like collecting and collecting forward. I don't know why I'm saying that. When you see Lagoon, I see a lake. When you see like Perth, hidden, pear, fruit, I don't want to see it. Underwear, fruit of the loom. And I see this and I go, warrior, there is something about being in their underwear that is derogatory, but it's funny because they're the butt of the joke. When you go to it and you say there was something else wrong with that, and you actually are driving, and there's like some sort of like awakening, like a gift, all of a sudden, like, aha, I got it. Like, I understand exactly what I need to do. It is like a type of fate that's hard rock stone, a true set in stone from whatever clear energy like hit them. There's something about born, being born, birch. So when you actually look at this and you say this rune actually means like ash, torch, ulcer, it really goes to a type of wealth. And you go to, defense, and then you see like heritage, estate, and culture. We were talking about how this was in politics to the current day and time about our land, and then heritage and culture and diversity and property. And it wasn't like anything about a civil war, but we were talking about here that it really was like a civil war. And when you see this and you go, it really is something about joy and power, and you see strength, but it really is trolling because of something that's gifted. It really is not gifted. A lot of times, for lack of a better term, inheritance is earned. Earned. Here it is. So as I'm seeing his name, Pablo Escobar, and I'm seeing tariffs, and I'm seeing China, and I'm seeing property, and I'm seeing land. And this is how I'm just connecting. And I'm not calling it out because it's still speculation, still investigative. But that's what I'm seeing as a psychic. It really is an emotional offer because when you see this and you say it's something like happening again, what was indicative about Pablo Escobar? And that is happening again that nobody realized. It really is the Two of Wands in reverse. It's not a looking glass, it's counterintuitive. When you see the Three of Cups, there is like a family get together because I hear the song Family Traditions. When I see Justice, and I actually see how it goes with ill justice, nasty justice, sick, like they're sick when they do this. When you see the Eight of Pentacles, there's like no like good skilled work or anything. Like it's odd how they say it, even to like the agencies. There's no skilled work. When you see this to the Seven of Swords, you can't even actually get anything done. Like it's steel, like stainless steel to a pan, and then that is when everything starts again. He literally was like stop go, like a knot in a rope. This is how everyone felt with him. I took a flight there and I looked and I got this. And that's how they were expressive. So when you look at it through hard, you can't even like figure out how many licks does it get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Just sitting as a dum dum, sucking on a dum dum. So when I see this, it has to do with senses and hunger. It has to do with like a child's play, like I said, and then transformation, like toying, like making people have facial expressions. So what I'm showing, what they showed me growing up was they do that, they do that, and they do that. So that's when you knew like somebody was telling you like all of a sudden you just do these odd things or you say these things that really, really come out that are uncanny and uncharacteristic about the body. Historically, it has happened even down to the Revolutionary War about senses, sinus infections, quiet place of growth. So when I look at it as a nursing perspective, quiet place of growth would be actually not so much the sinus infections. It would be strep throat. It would be nasal passages, maybe acne in the nasal passages, to acne in the ear, to actual like, why are you scratching your neck all of a sudden? Devotion. And then when you see hedgehog, let's look at the meaning of hedgehog right here. There it is. It really means go for it, but it's vulnerability, hiding the heart and tenderness. Fortress, locked down. I don't know why I'm seeing South Carolina. I'm seeing Civil War submarine, dishonesty, deceit. Glove, wings, doll. Here we go. Glove, money, status, complacency. Wings, wishes, ambition, wandering. Doll, illusion, old wounds, childhood. Let's actually explore his childhood a little bit. What do we need to know with South Carolina to the fort about a submarine and Pablo Escobar? Donkey. That was showed in mediumship. A donkey. Fun. Skull. There it is. Transitions, reality, grief. Like all of a sudden they flip a switch. They're like bipolar all of a sudden. You go, I don't understand what happened to my family member, but they've never been like that. Last one out of the stack. What do we need to know? Togetherness. Believe it or not, they actually do work together, even though they work alone. Ghost. Vision. And lastly, we got this one. Lantern. Here we go. Lantern, what do we need to know? Guidance, instinct, and trust. It's odd the way their instinct is. Cocaine addicts. Here it is. Animal Spirit Oracle. So going back to South Carolina in the Revolutionary War, you have the snake and you have the camel and you're smoking a cigarette. And when you're smoking a cigarette, you say, put it down on the wheel and give it a go. And it's an old game in the Navy where they have the helm and they have the rope, which is the tier. And when you have the tier, you actually tear it up. And when you tear it up, you literally do almost like similar to a Davy Jones. It's heinous if they find certain things. And when they find it, my God, this is around 1827 to 1867. I'm seeing this. When I see this, they all I had to do is just see a fox. And when you see it and you see the whale, and then you see the octopus, and you see the hawk, it's something old, even out of Appalachia, that they play this game of like playing with a tire or with sticks and string and playing with it to see exactly what's going on. When you see the frog and when you see the fish, you see lake effect, and then all of a sudden they got lake effect snow, and then you're studying the Great Lakes, and then everything. And then when you see the bear, they're like, we're done. We saw the bear. It was good. And when you look at it and you see the unicorn actually come through, it really is not a rarity or anything of that point. You actually have to see exactly what it's thinking, but it's known. It's just known. It's odd. All right, playing an oracle. What else do we need to know about Pablo Escobar? Because it's definitely showing. Definitely showing. Snake. So when you actually see the snake and you actually see like the trolling about it, you have to do. You have to do. They're showing me a little bit of mediumship that the family, he trolled his family, even like games, and they hated it. They hated it. They knew it was coming if they did it. Star centers, mother, father, healing, and then planetary garden. It was like they got sick, they got injured, and then they had to sit and wait. It's really rare in 2025. And then somebody would say, okay, we're going to go on a vacation. When you see this and you say set your vibration, it was already at tone, like tone of voice to atonement because I sinned. And like, how dare you say that in the family? Because I'm older than you. And they're like, no, I run it. I run it. That was the taking chances that he played with to making a timeline jump that's why it was hard to catch him. He had so many timeline jumps. I'm seeing up to 75 to like 145 times to like 900 times. And he just couldn't. It was like it came right out of his imagination. But he never used this product. He never used anything else. Like, what was specific about this guy who was not a drug addict? Something he remembered? Transmission? Sound codexes? Light language. Feel like it's in this deck. What was with this guy? Let me look at this guy. I just know Farrington. I just know Farrington. And that's it. That's it. Then all of a sudden he'd block it, and that's the golden egg. It is the block of all blocks that we keep finding. And then when you actually search for it, when you say like rooted light and light, you can't even see. Can't even see. All right. Wait, says Tara. All of a sudden, it got nasty in the energy. So we're looking at Iran, we're looking at Israel, we're looking at China, we're looking at Ukraine and all these things. We have deployments coming back and trainings. Normal in America. So when you look at it and you say the Queen of Cups, highly counter to causing chaos to the sun. And then you go to the Queen of Wands, not what you're thinking of this like new fiery beginning. We have everything into play and it was going well. And you go, it really is toxic masculinity. Yeah, how deep was that? They asked. And like what we've been learning a little bit and talking about with other shows, when we were talking about toxic masculinity, it could have actually been a female. And it's not always transgender, but maybe they earned rank in a coven and that they're a high priest also. You just never know. You just never know. It's not the victory that they want. Not the victory. So what was he looking for? I see green toad all of a sudden. That came out too quick. So green toad he was looking for. And when it comes out too quick as a second, that means you gotta run. Gotta run. When you see the Green of Cups, the Green of Cups, the King of Cups, that means psychic run. On a psychic run. It is right there. Not foreseen. All of a sudden, it just comes in and breaks through. What about Pablo Escobar do we need to know? What do we need to say no to? What do we need to say no? You're not to know. It's in your face. It is in your face. When you see this and you see complete, absolutely complete. When you see this and you see the Ace of Cups, you can't even see it coming. It like so psychic, so like intuitive to actual revelations that it becomes like a loss of money. So when you actually look at it and you say, yeah, you actually have to like continue and like put it forward and put it on the table. And like as it comes in and continue to address it, especially like the Carolinas, like look at all this damage from the hurricanes and the tornadoes. And I don't get anything from FEMA. All right, I found this problem with my well. Put it right on the table. That's what you got to do. So when you see it and you say, what do I need to knock out? That is in relation to Pablo Escobar. I feel like this might be a 2-part, 2 or 3-part series. That it has to do with something weak, a WEEK. And when you actually look at it and you go, you can't even believe how hard it was to pick it apart. When I see this and I go, there was something wrong and something due, not the victory. Again, second time that card came out in reverse. Not fulfilled wishes. I feel like something is not done or correct. Maybe we're seeing riots, we're seeing illegal immigrants and aliens. That is true. Something of a working. What do we need to KNOW? Push forward hard and fast. When you see this and you see like emotional offerings, like do it immediately. When you see this and you say there was a partnership, there was like working hard together to get done that was nasty in the community and we don't even know where it's stemming from. Not to be scared for, but when you see the magician and you actually see Netflix, you say, yeah, I was a magician. Myself as a magician, I don't do that whatsoever. I do not cook in the kitchen whatsoever. So when I actually do it, I do it on the principle of I have dandelion leaf and I'm cleansing my area. As a magician, I am using only my own energy, clean and sober. There's a difference. That usually when they are, it's like Breaking Bad. It's like worse than working in a meth lab. So when I see it and I say they just actually did a meth bust, they literally just collected. You can't even see the Seven of Swords. No steal, no steal. You can't steal it. But really, there really is no stealing. When you see the Page of Cups in reverse, and you see it, oh, there it is. Then you see the Fool, it's already there. That's how quick it comes in. So when I look at the Fool in reverse to the Page of Cups to the Death card, it's a sharp ending and done. Absolutely done. It will come in really fast, whatever is coming through for the rest of the week. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated. An email, a subscribe, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good day, everyone.